I spent a month in Xinjiang, China. This is my story. That's me in Xinjiang, China.
Now guys, this is the real Xinjiang.
And that's me again and again. Well, when I made this trip to Xinjiang, I had many questions in the comments when I was uploading my videos, and I'll give you all the answers to those questions in this video. And also, I'll show you my detailed experiences which I had while traveling across Xinjiang. Well, one recurring question was whether foreigners are banned from visiting Xinjiang or not. Well, here's the answer. No. Foreigners are not banned from visiting Xinjiang. Anyone can visit Xinjiang and you can spend as long as you want. As a matter of fact, there's so many people visiting Xinjiang every time. Some people even ask if there is even a Muslim religion in China. Funny, right? Well, fun fact, guys. China has more than 39,000 mosques, which is far more than the US, the UK, and France combined. I think far more than Europe combined. So there are so many mosques and Muslims here in China. So I spent over 1 month in Xinjiang with 2 days in a Uyghur home. And during this 1 month, I spoke with many Xinjiang locals on and off camera. I visited a real Uyghur market. I attended a Uyghur wedding. I visited some of the mosques. Right there in Xinjiang, I spent night outs with many Uyghur friends. I ate a lot of amazing Uyghur food. Actually grew fat. And I did so much more. But firstly, guys, let's address the elephant in the room. But why did I go to Xinjiang in the first place? Because when I was posting my videos from Xinjiang, many people said I was sponsored by the Chinese government to make those videos. But here's the fact, guys. Over the years, I've learned to go to places if I really want to see the truth, or at least do more research. And I've always been hearing tons and tons of information from Xinjiang on the media. And even as I'm speaking right now, there are still so many people and lots of information, or should I say misinformation, by the media about Xinjiang, which is an amazing region that I realized when I visited. So due to everything I was hearing on the media, I decided to take my bag and go there to see for myself. Because I love exploring new places whenever I can. So as I was arriving in Xinjiang, one of the very first things I noticed in Xinjiang was the population. There were so many people everywhere feeling free, feeling happy, joyful. And I did my research and I learned that there are about 11 million Uyghurs living in Xinjiang, and they make up about 45% of the Xinjiang population. And these 11 million people are only the Uyghurs in Xinjiang alone. And there are many more Uyghurs spread across China, some of whom even own lots of halal restaurants from the north, south, east, and west of China. Personally, I think the number of Uyghurs could be far less if the situation was as bad as they say in the media. Well, another observation that I made was that I realized the presence of more security and police in Xinjiang than in other parts of China. And I did my research to realize that there's more police presence in Xinjiang due to terrorist attacks that used to happen in the past in this region. From the 1990s right until 2016, many innocent people were killed during this time in Xinjiang, and it only ended in 2016 when the Chinese government said enough is enough. Reason why they sent more security to keep everyone safe in this region. And I believe that's the reason why there have been no attacks in Xinjiang ever since. And of course, reason why in 2023, which was last year alone, Xinjiang was able to even welcome more than 100 million visitors and brought in up to $14 billion in tourism revenue. And I saw how booming the tourism sector was in Xinjiang when I visited. And all this is unlike what the Western media says about Xinjiang. Now guys, many journalists from across the world have been invited to Xinjiang to see for themselves, and they even gave their reports on how it was an amazing and flourishing region in tourism and so much more. As a matter of fact, guys, last year Xinjiang saw millions of tourists and had millions of yuan in income from tourism. And of course, I was part of that because I visited Xinjiang during that time and I had a great time. And now back to the reason why I made the decision to travel to Xinjiang and see for myself. Well, as a foreigner living here in China for over 6 years, I said to myself, Why not? Why not go there too and see the reality of Xinjiang on ground? Although I wasn't quite sure about what to expect because my mind was clouded by the previous stereotypes that I had heard about this region, all thanks to the Western media. So, what I can say is this, guys, me going to Xinjiang wasn't just a visit for myself or a fun visit, but it was a whole learning experience. I spent days traveling across different cities in Xinjiang, from Urumqi to Kerala to Turpan and more, and I do not regret any second of my time spent there. And I even put on so much weight while traveling across Xinjiang. Of course, due to the amazing food, because the food in Xinjiang, wow. I really recommend you guys visiting Xinjiang. It's an amazing place. And sometimes I couldn't even go out much because of so much food which I had eaten the previous day. The people that I met were very friendly, very welcoming, always smiling. When I first arrived Urumqi, I thought maybe the people would not be welcoming, but I was surprised because I met many friendly and amazing Uyghur people, and I even made a friend, Dili, who offered to be my driver during my time in Urumqi. We took road trips across the city, through the outskirts of Urumqi, went through some pear fields, cotton fields, and even apple fields because Xinjiang is a very fertile region here in China and they grow a whole lot of fruits. So if you move around Xinjiang, you will find all of this. So I was so happy that I made many, many new friends. And my friend Dili took me across Urumqi, took me across the city, and we even visited the Kazakhs who welcomed us with open arms. And I was very grateful for that. Now, when I left the capital Urumqi, visited Turpan, which is a great location, then I went to Kerala and I spent 2 nights with the Uyghur family. They even took me to a Uyghur wedding. It was a crazy experience. The happiness on the people's faces, singing, dancing, drinking, it was insane. The Uyghurs were so happy, they had so much fun, we danced, and I'm not even sure that I'll ever forget the experience which I had. Spending 2 nights in a Uyghur home, attending a Uyghur wedding was an amazing experience, insane. And even when I went to a small village market, I still had so much to eat. Now guys, the friendly and welcoming nature of the people alongside the amazing food were not the only two things which I found amazing in Xinjiang. There was the culture, the dance, the performances on the streets. It was insane. I had a really great experience, which I hope I'll be able to experience again. I hope I can really go back there someday. Everywhere I went, they invited me to dance. Even when I was just passing by and I saw people dancing and I wanted to watch or make a short video of them, they just invited me to dance. They were very friendly and welcoming. I realized that the Uyghurs are always dancing at every gathering and even on the streets. Anywhere they find themselves, they really love their culture and they live a happy life. And I realized that their culture is being encouraged more by the Chinese government because there are spaces that have been made specifically for Uyghurs to go there and have fun. And so their culture is being encouraged as much as possible. And I saw this when I visited Kashgar, including the ancient city, where I saw and immersed myself in many of some real Uyghur culture, old and new. There were so many people and so many locations that have been preserved by the Chinese government for the local Uyghurs to be able to make some extra money just by being themselves and enjoying their culture. Of course, that's one of the aspects that is boosting tourism in that region. Now guys, the eye-opening experience to me was one of a kind, and I'll never forget everything I saw and I felt in Xinjiang. For me personally, I didn't see any sign of trouble or sad people or people feeling demoralized. What I saw were happy people, people who were excited, living life and doing the businesses happily. And even when I visited all the outskirts of the towns, the remote places of the city, I still didn't see anything negative which could make these amazing people sad or angry. Well, maybe others might have a different experience while traveling across Xinjiang, but for me personally, I would really love to go back there and visit Xinjiang again. It is really beautiful. Who knows, I might even go back there just for the food. Well, Willenials, if you would love to see all my detailed Xinjiang trips, feel free to check on this channel for more of my videos posted about 2 months ago, and you'll see every single step which I took while in Xinjiang and all my amazing experiences which I made while I was traveling across Xinjiang. And also don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing videos on China insights and international relations. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, this is Willene. See you next time.